What is up, guys? It is Marcus from Perspective Sports, and today we'll be looking at Oklahoma City Thunder point guard Russell Westbrook and where he could potentially end up if he and the Thunder decided to part ways after 11 eventful years. Russell Westbrook has been the definition of loyalty, sticking with the Thunder through a myriad of roster changes, and really did his best to win in Oklahoma City. But I think his tenure in Oklahoma City needs to come to an end, and here's why. The Thunder are gearing up for a full-on rebuild, acquiring 5 first-round picks and 2 rights to swap, along with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Danilo Gallinari from the Los Angeles Clippers, in exchange for All-Star Paul George. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a 20-year-old point guard with a boatload of potential, and Gallinari is an expiring contract. This is essentially a rebuilding package. They also sent Jerry Grant to the Denver Nuggets in exchange for a 2020 first-round pick, saving them almost $40 million in the luxury tax. And so, when you put these moves together, the Thunder have acquired 6 first-round picks in the last week, and Sam Presti is no longer in win-now mode and is looking to the future. Westbrook is 30 years old and realistically has another 3 to 4 years of playing at a super high level, meaning he doesn't have time to sit through a rebuild, even though Presti is shown to be an excellent drafter. Westbrook should want to go somewhere that is in win-now mode and gives him the best chance to do that. And there's pretty much 2 criteria that come to mind when trying to search for a team. A, the team has the assets to acquire Russell Westbrook, and B, could pair him with another all-star caliber player. And these teams are the Detroit Pistons, Miami Heat, and the Orlando Magic. And let's start with the Detroit Pistons. And after drawing up about 3 to 4 deals, I decided to go with this one, and it looks like this. The Detroit Pistons get Russell Westbrook, the Mavericks get Steven Adams and Langston Galloway, and the Thunder get Reggie Jackson, Sekou Doumbouya, Courtney Lee, Thon Maker, Justin Jackson, and then for the picks, you get the 2020 Pistons first-round pick unprotected, 2020 Mavs first-round pick right to swap, 2021 Pistons first-round pick right to swap, 2022 Pistons unprotected, 2022 Mavericks right to swap, 2023 Pistons right to swap, 2024 Pistons unprotected, and the 2025 Mavericks unprotected. This deal works for the Pistons because now they have a core of Russell Westbrook, Blake Griffin, and Andre Drummond. And if we're being honest, I'm not too sure about this core because Westbrook and Griffin are both high-volume shooters, and at least one of them will have to budge and take less shots. I still think this team could win a lot of games once they add more shooters to the roster. They currently have Luke Kennard. Blake Griffin has also improved his jump shot, but Westbrook and Drummond aren't scaring anyone from beyond the arc. And I really tried to find a scenario where Danilo Gallinari could make his way to Detroit, but there was no deal that I can think of. As for the Dallas Mavericks, they'll now have an elite center to put down low with Kristaps Porzingis, who can stretch the floor and allow Steven Adams to post up and score or kick it out if help defense comes. As for this roster, I really feel that Luka Doncic, Kristaps Porzingis, and Steven Adams, as the core surrounded by Seth Curry, Tim Hardaway Jr., Delon Wright, Boban Marjanovic, could stun a team or two in the Western Conference playoffs and will definitely be a force to be reckoned with in the future. As for the Thunder, they killed 2 birds with 1 stone in trading Westbrook and Adams, and in the process, they acquired 3 expiring contracts worth about $40.5 million. They also get 3 young players in rookie Sekou Doumbouya, Justin Jackson, and Thon Maker, players who can see a lot of time, giving the Thunder a fair amount of time to evaluate them for their future. They also get 8 first-round picks in the deal, 5 from Detroit and 3 from Dallas. And Dallas made it a little bit difficult because the 2021 and 2023 first-round picks belong to the Knicks, and so they acquired the right to swap in 2020 and 2022 and an unprotected one in 2025. As for the Pistons, they alternate between unprotected and the right to swap because of the Ted Stepien rule, which I don't really think should be a thing. I feel like if you want to trade your first-round picks back-to-back, you should be able to. But anyway, they acquire 4 more unprotected first-round picks and have control over 8, meaning that between the Clippers, Nuggets, and this trade, they've added 9 draft picks to their stash and have control over 15. And history shows that Sam Presti is a really good drafter, and giving him potentially 15 swings to draft an all-star, he's almost guaranteed to find 2 or more. Moving on to the next deal, and this is between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Orlando Magic. This deal will see Russell Westbrook and Dennis Schroeder make their way to Orlando in exchange for Markelle Fultz, DJ Augustin, Aaron Gordon, Mo Bamba, and then for the draft picks, a 2021 Magic first-round pick unprotected, a 2022 Magic first-round pick right to swap, a 2023 Magic first-round pick unprotected, and a 2025 Magic first-round pick top 3 protected through 2026, or they'll receive a 2027 unprotected. And this deal works for the Magic because they haven't been able to put much of anything together in a while. Last season was the first time this team won 30 or more games since the 2012-2013 lockout-shortened season. and acquiring Russell Westbrook could make the Magic a potential free agency destination. Their location is perfect. Florida is a beautiful state. There's no state income tax. You have Disney World and Universal Studios right up the street. If you haven't been, I recommend you go. It's a great place to live, but there's been no real reason to go play for the Orlando Magic. Yes, they're giving up a lot in this deal. 2 unprotected first-round picks, 1 lightly protected, and 1 right to swap along with Mo Bamba and Aaron Gordon. But I think it's about time the Magic swing for the fences. And I'm not one to say that teams should swing for the fences often, but because I personally love hoarding draft picks. But the worst thing that can come out of this deal for the Magic is they sell a bunch of tickets. Russell Westbrook, Nikola Vucevic, Evan Fournier, Terrence Ross, Al-Farouq Aminu is good enough to be a playoff team and good enough to make the Magic an interesting free agency destination, and players who may want to trade may actually start to look to the Orlando Magic. As for the Thunder, if they trade Westbrook, Steven Adams is likely next, and acquiring Mo Bamba to be the center of the future is the perfect segue. They'll also get Aaron Gordon, who is only 24 years old, on a de-escalating contract in terms of salary. The Magic did a great job on that deal, and the Thunder will be inheriting that contract while allowing Aaron to continue to grow. They'll also be acquiring DJ Augustin and Markelle Fultz. Augustin, probably be able to buy out, but if not, he's on an expiring contract, and Markelle Fultz is a guy who I still have faith in. I think once he gets healthy mentally and physically, he'll be able to be an exceptional NBA player, and the Thunder are in rebuilding mode, which would allow him to do that, versus the 76ers, who are in win now and needed you to be ready to play immediately. And moving on to our final deal between the Miami Heat, San Antonio Spurs, and Oklahoma City Thunder. This deal will see the Miami Heat acquire Russell Westbrook and Patrick Mills. The Spurs require Goran Dragic, and the Thunder receive Tyler Herro, Justice Winslow, Marco Bellinelli, Myers Leonard, Derek White, and for draft picks, a 2020 Heat first-round pick right to swap, a 2020 Spurs first-round pick unprotected, a 2022 Spurs first-round pick top 12 protected, or 2023 and 2024 second-round pick, a 2022 Heat first-round pick right to swap, and a 2027 Heat first-round pick unprotected. And this is the most complicated of the three, but let's start with Miami and why they would do this deal. This will be Pat Riley once again proving that if you're a star player and willing to come to Miami, he will get you other stars. In this case, he will be pairing Jimmy Butler with Russell Westbrook, and this will give Miami easily one of the best backcourts in the NBA, and all they'll need to do is add depth to the roster, and this team will be able to compete right away. As for the Spurs, they get a guy who I think will absolutely flourish in Pop's system in Goran Dragic. His ability to shoot the ball, distribute the ball, and his overall ability to do what the system requires you to do. He's been a 20-point-per-game scorer multiple times. He shoots 36% from 3 for his career. And Dragic with Aldridge in the pick and roll should add another layer to the Spurs' offense. As for the Thunder, this is where it gets complicated because let's start with the picks. They get a 2020 Spurs first-round pick unprotected and then a top 12 protected pick in 2022 that if it is top 12, it will turn into 2 second-round picks in years 2023 and 2024. As for Miami, they'll be getting the right to swap in 2020 and 2022 and an unprotected in 2027 because its 2023 pick has protections on it all the way through 2025 or to become a 2026 first-round pick unprotected. They already own the 2021 first-round pick from the trade with the Clippers, and I'm not sure if there's a rule that would prohibit the Heat from removing protections on previously traded picks that would turn them into unprotected picks. Hopefully someone has the answer to that question and could help me out. Moving on, the Thunder will get rookie Tyler Herro, a guy who I really like, a guy who can stretch the floor and score in a plethora of ways. They'll also be getting Justice Winslow, a young forward who made a big leap this year, averaging career highs in points per game, assists per game, and field goal percentage. Myers Leonard is an expiring contract and a guy who can stretch the floor. And Derek White is a guy who played extremely well for the Spurs last season, averaging just under 10 points and 4 assists per game and about 25 minutes a night. Well, there you guys have it. Those are my 3 trades. And I know you're probably wondering where are the Pacers and where are the Knicks. And in the case of the Pacers, I don't think they have enough ammunition to execute a Russell Westbrook trade. They'll need a tremendous amount of help from a third team because alone they don't have the assets to match any of the 3 previous offers. And the third team will be pulling a lot of weight in order to make it happen. So that's why I don't have him going to the Pacers. And also, we've seen Russell Westbrook and Victor Oladipo play together. And when Victor Oladipo left, he had a breakout season. So I'm not sure if the Pacers want to bring in that dynamic again. And as for the Knicks, when I was drawing up a trade, I just thought to myself, why? The Knicks have a really good young core. And if you know me, I make a lot of Knicks jokes. But Mitchell Robinson, Kevin Knox, RJ Barrett, these guys look really good. Dennis Smith Jr. Why? Why mortgage your future? Because you have to trade all of those guys and then a bunch of first round picks on top of it to bring in Russell Westbrook, because you can't trade Julius Randle, Reggie Bullock, Wayne Ellington because you just signed them. And I just found myself asking, why mortgage the future on Russell Westbrook? Yes, it will sell tickets. Definitely will sell jerseys. But why? I think the Knicks should just stand pat and let their young guys grow into what they're going to be. And that's my reasoning for not having the Knicks making a trade for Russell Westbrook. Let me know what you guys think down below about my trades and what your trades could potentially be. I look forward to seeing them. See you there.